shot, jumping in, Ice trying to finish one on the cog, pushback isn't enough.
Whatever. They definitely could have gone for objectives. Like, they have a mech on their team, they've got a Wisp, they got a Bane that's overfarmed, but I mean, they're perfectly content to play this game, and it seems like Misery is the only person that has any idea what's going on right now.
Oh, Ice has finished up that blade mail, but the double BKBs are there. Gyrocopter and SF both have 10-second magic immunity for the fights. Vici Gaming, it seems like they gotta turn it on now and avoid fights. They gotta go for more strategical play, because I just cannot see them being able to outplay Cloud9 in team fights, which is the only way I see them beating Cloud9 with those double BKB. It's just too much of an advantage.
Yeah, but if the fights last as long as they just did, then anything can happen. But Ice, he's now got the blade mail, which you talked about. It's just not as effective as it once was. You've got Misery, he's got a 4-staff, there's 2 BKBs. You've got the Phoenix, who now is starting to pick up a lot of items. He's almost got a BKB of his own, and that'll be C9's timing. And I actually think they can just go for the Roshan if they want at some point. And I feel like they should just go back to playing objectives. Like, they don't have to dive behind towers to win this game.
All right, Cloud9 already centering up on that Roche. Of course, Ice has been scouting it out with Rocket Flare after Rocket Flare. So if they do try and take down the big man, it's going to be spotted out by Vici Gaming. There will be some sort of response. They have all their ultimates too. It's very tough to take Roshan without an advantage against Vici Gaming. The Rocket Flare always spotting you out, and then you have just, you're always going to be centered up for a good position.
In the fights right now, there's no point in them. And that wasn't even a fight that they wanted to force, really. It was just that one of their heroes got initiated on. They saw an opportunity to at least get a counter kill, which they did, but it definitely wasn't worth it for the trade for Super.
These outside of Cloud9, which obviously means that the Radiance isn't nearly as effective.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be incredibly good, just because, I mean, it'll help them farm so much faster. You can split the map, and you can just keep the game going for as long as you can. And you don't want to overextend when your BKBs are down against a Radiant Spectre. The damage that it does to your supports alone is worth it. If you just take a look at the net worth, Vado almost doubles him. That's got to look ugly for Vici Gaming's chances right now. He's still 1k away from just the Relic, and that's not even mentioning the recipe.
There's the Glimmer Cape that we were talking about earlier for Misery.
There's some scribbles too.
Yeah, there's some.
Misery knows.
He seems to know what's going on. There's got to be someone up here in this top lane, and it is indeed Ice. Waiting for his opportunity to get a pick off.
Yeah, Ward will spot him coming a mile away. It's just such smart warding by them, because they had this warded and this warded, so there's actually no way to reasonably gank Ice. And the reason why they warded like that is because they know that the tier 1 tower is the next objective. So where do you ward? Wherever the next objective is.
Except for just a little bit of AoE damage from the Ice Blast and the Rocket Flare.
Yeah, and that's a pretty deadly combination, and it should extend the game for much longer than it should, but net worth still quite bad for Vici Gaming right now, and the Spectre's not really catching up. The problem with this hero is that you have a really static laning phase. You can't really go anywhere else to farm safely. Jungling isn't really an option. There are a few builds that you get like a culling.
His next item choice, he got a lot of gold on him. He is choosing to go for the Scotty. I was just about to ask you. Butterfly, I feel like Scotty's the better option here, solely because of the pure damage nukes. So top lane, they're going to try and burst down Eternal Heavy. Big Daddy O-Tail comes in, trying to go for the save, but now he's pushed back. He's going to set it as well. Vici Gaming have just found a huge opening out of lane, and now it's going to be caught. Beautiful bot blocking from 7. How he's searching for a way out of this death hole that he got himself into, but the 3 heroes from Cloud9 will ensure the kill at the very least. That was a huge pickoff in that top lane, but it all just kind of gets thrown away with House jump to bottom.
That had to have been a misclick. There's no way that they keep the game going for a little bit longer. They slow down Eternal Envy's farm, and more importantly, they buy some time for Hao. Like, if Hao hadn't died there, he'd have his Radiance, and that would just push C9 to the point where they just have to go for high ground at some point.
Do you agree with Vada's choice to go for the Scotty, by the way?
Yeah, I think against a team like Vici, I think maybe Satanic is the more likely option. Like Helm of Dom, get a Satanic, wait out the Ice Blast. I think going for the Scotty is too defensive.
Alright, no relocate shenanigans for F1.
Dang.
You just decide. 23, despite the very even kill count right now, Cloud9 are ahead by about 8,000 gold, 70 experience. Late game advantage, 45-50 minute marker when the Spectre is finally coming online. They're going to have the Aghanim Scepter coming in for Fenrir soon as well. I feel like Cloud9, this is their best opportunity to strike, and 5-man pushing to farm away, get both Alina obviously finishing hers earlier on, and then the Fenrir Aghanim Scepter is going to be coming in soon as well.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. Because if you get hit by one of those, the mech doesn't really do anything for you, and Vici Gaming can kind of just chill and sit back and spam their spells. But they're probably just waiting for the Roshan more than anything. There's no real reason to risk it, and Hao at top is so afraid right now. Like, he knows something is up, but I think he might just risk this. There's like 10 seconds that go by and nobody shows up on the map. They're throwing out the stuns. Hao.
Misery, he's found Hao. Super, he's trying to stop this one. There goes the hook shot all the way in. Ice goes in the back. Fun is going to call that ultimate, but they've already taken down No-Tail with, oh my goodness, what a big combination of plays. Both Seven and Turtle Envy will single-handedly take out all of Vici Gaming. And now they're going to march straight through the tier 2s, go up to tier 3s as well, see if they can force the buybacks, but there's not a single one out for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, there was no way that was the right choice. Vici Gaming, I think they had an idea of what was up, but you just have to give that tier 2 tower up, if anything, and just play a little bit more safe, because you know how with that Radiance can continue to out-farm, but it doesn't even matter, as they're already going on the high ground. Nobody from Vici Gaming really affords a buyback here, because they just had to all in go for items right now, and this is going to mean Elena Rax guaranteed. FY doing his best to extend the game. Tries to split up, but guaranteed Rax in 33 minutes.
Well played. The range Rax going to be left to the range creeps here to finish out. And they'll deal with both the middle and bottom lane pushing in. So Cloud9 have just given themselves a gigantic advantage. Before the 35-minute marker, Vici Gaming obviously suffering quite heavily. Even if they did finish up that Radiance on the Spectre, you're going to need a lot more items to deal with a very farmed Gyrocopter in SF.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the next Roshan to be able to go straight down. I think you continue to just further take control of their jungle. I'm pretty sure they still have the gem. Yeah, Bone 7 still has his gem, so you just continue to take control of the jungle whenever you can, and just make it so that Vici Gaming are holed up in their base. If you only give Hao the top lane to farm when it already has super creeps, I mean, slim pickings.
Cloud9. Roshan's going to be coming up soon. Do they actually go for Roshan? Because it is rather dangerous versus an Ancient Apparition, as well as a Clockwork. There's a lot of potential for Vici Gaming to be able to intercept you in your attempts to take that Aegis. Or at this point, because you feel so comfortable with the strength that you're at, maybe go for the pushing.
I mean, I think you go for the Roshan, go for the push, all-out assault. You just completely dominated in a team fight. Vici Gaming, they don't have that Aghanim Scepter quite yet on Fenrir. That's probably the item that's going to change their luck the most in this game, but C9 can just hold back, do whatever they want, because Vici Gaming can't really spread out that far to farm. Like, you can use this section of the jungle, like these, maybe these 2 creep camps, and then here's where you draw the line. Like, Hao is playing really risky at this point, but he has to, right? Because he has to find farm somewhere, but I mean, there's always going to be a risk at this point just because C9 have so much control of the map.
Oh yeah, the items just keep on being raked in. Ooh, there it is, double Aghanim Scepter. I was wondering what FY was going to do with all the gold that he was picking up. An Aghanim Scepter, so big opportunities here. If he manages to steal one of the most obvious steals he can get, is of course going to be the Bane. Fiend's Grip.
This is so smart from Vici, because C9 is never going to expect them to go for this. They're like, okay, well, we're dominating the game, why would they leave their base at this point? But Vici Gaming smoked up. They've got the Aghanims on both their support heroes. I don't even know how they managed to do that, but they have the gold.
Cloud9. Either they seem to know something is up, which would be a little odd, or they just want to play this as defensively as humanly possible, perhaps given their track record for being unable to close out the game as fast as they would like to. So they're going to play this very defensively. Around the Roshan pit, waiting for Vici Gaming to show themselves. They know eventually they have to go back and deal with that top lane that's pushing it.
Yeah, and Fada just continues to push in this mid wave. What they're trying to do right now is force Vici Gaming to go back and defend lanes. So you'll notice that Hao's at top, and nobody from Vici really wants to go back to defend, because if you show yourself on the map, then C9 just immediately go for the Roshan, but it looks like they're going to go for the smoke instead.
Of course, this is the big advantage of running a Spectre, right, in that you can have that hero be up in the top lane, split pushing, whatever, and can still be there to join you for the rest of the fight. So Vici Gaming still wanted to position themselves around that Roshan pit, or around to defend the tier 2. Hao can't join them at any point in time.
He just continues to steal spells. That's going to be short raise, I believe. If
Not sure if FY is really going to make use of that one. The tier 2 very rapidly going down as Cloud9. Here comes the first Ice Blast here. Jump in. Telekinesis, they're going to try and blow up on him right away. They are successful. Taking him out. And now Vici Gaming perhaps just want to get out of this one. Ice is already dead. They have the Supernova on top. Looks like Cloud9 Super wants to go for the kill now on Misery. And it's just stunned him up a little bit, slow him down. The dagger's there as well. No tail. They actually managed to get a really good set. FY jumping forward. He's on the Alpha. He's going to be able to pop that one. And Cloud9, they're going to get out of here. Misery's going to go down. He sleeps himself 4 steps away, trying to get some distance desperately, but will not be able to get away from Hal. Oh, he's still alive. He is unbelievable. He's slowing down Eternal Envy for the rest of his team. They're going to get to Eternal Envy. No tail goes down first. He's dead as well. The Ice Blast over the top. FY has gone.
I don't even understand what he just did there. He steals the sleep. He somehow gets the egg, completely turns the fight around. Vici Gaming with the wipe of the century. I still can't comprehend what he just did, but I mean, you talk about supports not being impactful in the late game, but he just proved it right there. That Aghanim Scepter went to work.
Unbelievable. Over a 15,000 net worth advantage for Cloud9 is now being threatened as Vici Gaming start pushing outside of their base. They're going to try and get some objectives here, go straight for that tier 2 in the middle lane. Just getting whatever the gold they can to rack up for Hao, who now has a Yasha in his inventory.
I mean, just look at the items that C9 have right now. They almost have a full they actually have the full Satanic on Envy. He's got a BKB that isn't even at 6 seconds. Like, he's still at 7. We've got SF, who's got a full-on Butterfly Scotty with an 8-second BKB, and Vici Gaming still managed to win the fight with almost no farm on anybody. I just actually can't even comprehend that just happened.
And it's such a high-profile, high-pressure match for Cloud9 that's got to rattle you a little bit, that you're up so far ahead, and Vici Gaming just managed to take a fight against you, but they can't afford to give up any room for Vici Gaming to sit back and farm. They're still in a really great position, and that Roshan is still up. Vici Gaming were unable to take it during the downtime.